Trump and Nicki Minaj are what?
The fact that that's even a statement is crazy. Sorry.
They this was not in the bingo card. Chun-Li is supporting Agent Orange. This is an interesting thing. Nicki Minaj, she caught a lot of backlash. Not that she cares. Praising and defending President Donald Trump. Even her super fans listening to Super Bass got into it because the Barbz started questioning their loyalty to her. Things began as Trump took to social media warning Nigeria's government that if it doesn't stop what he called the slaughter of Christians, the U.S. might pull aid. This is a photo of Donald Trump threatening Nigeria. Christianity is facing an existential threat in Nigeria. Thousands of Christians are being killed. Radical Islamists are responsible for this mass slaughter. I'm hereby making Nigeria a country of particular concern. But that is the least of it. When Christians or any such group is slaughtered, like is happening in Nigeria, 31,000 versus 4,476 worldwide, something must be done. I'm asking Congressman Riley Moore, together with Chairman Tom Cole and the House Appropriations Committee, to immediately look into this matter and report back to me. The United States cannot stand by while such atrocities are happening in Nigeria and numerous other countries. We stand ready, willing, and able to save our great Christian population around the world. And then he goes on to say if the Nigerian government continues to allow the killing of Christians, the USA will immediately stop all aid and assistance to Nigeria and may very well go into that now disgraced country, guns a-blazing, to completely wipe out the Islamic terrorists who are committing these horrible atrocities. You know, just say you want to go into Africa and kill. Like, that's basically what you're saying. And go on and say that you want to starve an already challenged country by removing aid, the same way you remove SNAP and EBT. I mean, you don't need to develop and gaslight all of us with these conspiracy theories in order to give you the green light to go in and just kill people. You're doing it in Venezuela by just bombing boats in the water. And look, if there are people on there with drugs, go seize the boats, bring them to justice, hold them accountable. That's the United States way. But now it's no, let's just drop bombs on brown people without them going through due process. By the way, you would have never let Barack Obama keep Guantanamo Bay open because you would have said that he was over there waterboarding people, but we're not waterboarding people. We're just dropping bombs on them. Right? Mm-hmm. Am I covering this right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think you brought up a good point that he's targeting brown people. And I think this rhetoric of masking it as religion is crazy because Christianity was in Africa well before it was in Europe. Christianity is not a white religion, and they keep trying to mask it that way so that they can use it for racist purposes. So I think it's great to frame it that way because that's truly what it is.
You didn't address the genocide in the Congo. You didn't address the slave trade in Libya. I mean, there are other things going. Oh, but then again, you're kind of doing it too. I mean, Gaza. Anyway, I don't want to get distracted here because the story is not just about that. It's about the fact that Nicki shared Trump's post and praised him. Well, because Nicki is known for being erratic. I mean, we saw all the meltdown recently. I mean, she just threatened our friend Kyle at Neighborhood Talk and posted him and said, "Don't talk about me." I almost text Kyle to say, you should just post a photo of her and say no. I would have. Anyway, this is the post of Nicki praising Donald. Reading this made me feel a deep sense of gratitude. We live in a country where we can freely worship God. No group, let me read it like her. No group should ever be persecuted for practicing their religion. We don't have to share the same beliefs in order for us to respect each other. That is how she talks. Numerous countries all around the world are being affected by this horror. It's dangerous to pretend we don't notice. Thank you to the president and his team for making this seriously, for taking this seriously. God bless every persecuted Christian. Let's remember to lift them up in prayer. Well, is it right message, wrong person? I don't know, but this is what I will say. When Kanye West, and this is crazy that I'm even mixing them together, but when Kanye West said that he wore the red hat. I think he said this on the Jason Lee show or one of the show, Hollywood Unlocked podcast. I can't remember. But when I asked him about wearing the red hat, he said it wasn't about wearing the red hat that he stood with Trump or something, but that it was about being able to have the free speech to wear the right hat. I don't recall it, but let me just find the clip and put it here. Did you ever reconcile why people were upset about you wearing the hat, though? Because I mean, honestly, like I mean, not to get too deep into politics, I look at like all the conversation, even that Joe Biden was having with Charlemagne, saying that if you vote Republican, you ain't black. But then now that they're in office, I really don't see the policies being passed to benefit the people that you were going out fighting for. So I get it. I understand, the frustration or the guilt in the games that people play. But I always wondered if you reconcile why people were feeling the way they were feeling about you wearing the hat.
Yeah, you know what? I will say I take responsibility for the fact that it hurt their feelings, that it hurt people's feelings, And I also say, I believe now that people, not just black people, just across the board, they're realizing like, yo, you have to let Ye be Ye. You gotta push it. Like me and Drake was gonna wear Virgil Jordans at the show, and we had them. We was backstage, and when I put them on, I just didn't look like Ye. I looked more like Ye with these boots. I got this line on the song with Game where I say, I wear these boots even in the shower.
Yeah.
Like, because how can something change if we're in group think? There's gonna be someone who doesn't take the program. And so I take accountability for when I've been ramped up and not had the right mood and attitude, but it was necessary for me to not take the programming and then to not, take the bullying and the manipulation. They want all celebrities in a position, basketball players, rappers, have to say, yo, we're voting in the same party as the media controlled party, which is the Democrats. The majority of people who own the media are aligned with the Democrats. So if you don't align with them, they literally is like, yo, your career is gonna be over. That was really the biggest reason why I went to the hospital. Every day, imagine everyone in your life telling you your career is gonna be over if you don't vote for Hillary Clinton. Why am I gonna vote for Hillary Clinton? I don't have no connection, to this person. Why do you have to defend your right? Why do you have to defend your right? What little rights we got? We got like 13th Amendment in the Constitution. They got literal amendments only based on aimed at black people to lock us up. But then we're defending the rights that we fought for. What's the point of fighting and winning to vote if you got to defend who you gonna vote on? Like I always had a difference of opinion to everyone in grammar school, everyone in high school. And I think, a lot of times I'm ahead of my time, 10 years ahead of my time, 20 years ahead of my time. And as a leader and a visionary, I got to take a responsibility to be able to communicate to the people who follow me, where are we going, Yang? Where is this going? And there was a blurry time where people are just feeling lost. They didn't know where they was going. Even for Kim, she's like, where are you going? Where are you going? I know how to get there. I know what this is. I've been going here my whole life. You're talking about building sustainable communities and all that and how this is going to be, better. And people just don't understand sometimes where I'm headed. I have to take that responsibility as a visionary to move just a little bit slower, stop, explain, where we're going. And I feel that there's a lot more people along for the ride now. Because I am a future president. It might not be 2-3 years from now. I might not, but ain't never been a situation I went in that I didn't make it better. I'm an industrialist.
I mean, some would say, she's at least praising him for addressing an issue that is an issue, but the Post left Barbz questioning their loyalty to their queen. Look at what they said. These are the Barbz. Never did I think that Nicki Minaj would come out as a Republican in big age of 2025. Embarrassing. Barty Tint. That must be a Cardi B page, fan page. You have the gayest fan base of them all, and you're openly supporting the orange bastard on MAGA Barbies. Oh, MAGA Barbies. Nikki Queen, we are getting dragged. Can you clear it up? They think you full on MAGA. Girl, no one is forgetting about you being MAGA. Well, then somebody actually caught her attention for a response. The fan said this. Nikki, as a diehard fan who genuinely sticks beside you through every single scandal, you cozying up to this fucking loser, I might actually have to tap out. We live in a country that wants to weaponize religion so your gay fans can be pushed into a corner in silence.
I think that fan is absolutely right. And the crazy part is they really are like weaponizing Christianity in the U.S. in a horrible way. Like you see all of these MAGA people cheering that people are losing the access to food. They're using Christianity as an excuse to like target people in America and say they don't deserve certain rights. It's crazy to me that this is the person she's aligning herself with on this topic, but she's crashing out again. And I think this is a last ditch effort to have some kind of credibility after she's slowly losing it all.
Let me play devil's advocate. Is there some positivity and gratefulness to her acknowledging a president who's acknowledging an issue that other presidents haven't acknowledged? I mean, a lot of people, whether it's media, presidents, whatever, have failed to acknowledge some of the challenges in the Congo. Is there any positive to it?
I don't think so. Not in this context, only because like if you're so concerned about the safety of Christianity, you should also be concerned about preserving what Christianity represents. And we're doing the opposite right now in the United States to people who exist here. So you can't be outraged about that and not outraged about how Christianity is performing in the US. Like, I think there has to be a balance. And if you're just screaming out about this one, it feels pointed and specific.
Listen, and what Christianity and Jesus are y'all watching? Because the one that I read about and that I feel when I listen to gospel music or when I walk in a church is not one that thinks that this type of behavior that Rob just talked about is appropriate. I mean, and all of you that are Christian folks, and I don't want to get into the Christian nationalists because some of you have used Jesus Christ and the Holy Ghost to be unholy, and you're able to sleep at night. That's the crazy part, that some of you are doing things and believing in things that are just asinine, but the fact that you can go to sleep at night is really alarming to me. Well, Nikki saw that fan's post and clapped back. This is what she said. Imagine hearing that Christians are being murdered and making it about you being gay. When my home was swatted multiple times with my innocent toddler inside, with maybe 20 officers with guns drawn pointed at our home due to political corruption, you being gay couldn't save me. Expecting someone to stay oppressed, abused, targeted, harassed, and consistently ignored by public figures who are supposed to be helping them says more about you than it does about anyone else. I'll advocate for you the same way I'm advocating for murdered Christians in Nigeria, like I always have. Just remember that. Diligently, compassionately, just remember that part too. LOL, and I know you're not a diehard fan. Let me think about it if I want to block you for the next 10 to 15 minutes. Love you. Then in one of Nicki's X spaces, a Barbie tried to share how difficult it's been for them to work under Trump's administration, but Nicki completely dismissed their concerns. Listen.
Unmute yourself, big one.
Morning, Queen.
Good morning, King. How are you?
I'm making it. I'm making it on my way to this job that barely wants me there, but I'm
Why
still pressing
not?
through.
Why not?
Well, since this new administration came in, people of color don't get the same treatment that we used to.
Good night, big one. Okay? I knew it was the reason I wasn't following your ass.
Nikki, can I speak? My bad.
Yes, please, Niger Princess. Thank you.
Okay, so one thing I wanted to
Why did she do that?
Because she's cozying up to Trump. That's weird. Now she's like deflecting the concerns of her fan base. Like, this is weird.
Despite backlash from her fans, the Barbz, Trump's UN ambassador Mike Waltz invited Nicki to visit the embassy and talk more. She accepted, claiming she was honored. Look, Nicki Minaj, thank you for using your platform to speak out in defense of Christians being persecuted in Nigeria. We cannot allow this to continue. Every brother and sister of Christ must band together and say enough. If you ever find yourself in New York, come by the U.S. Embassy to the United Nations. I would love to speak with you in more depth about what our administration is doing to protect Christians' freedoms all over the world. And she said, I'd be honored. Thank you, Ambassador.
I'm just so confused as to why she's like trying to take on this persona of a Christian all of a sudden. Wasn't she just a couple of weeks ago calling Cardi B's kids monkeys? Like, I just don't understand. Now all of a sudden she's this devout Christian who's living a life where she has to go out in the streets and speak out for the safety of people who live in other countries, but not the safety of people who are her fans who live in the United States. I don't get it.
And I'll say this. I'm at a place in my life, like Charlemagne the God, I'm going to say what he said, and this is the first time I've ever said it, where I send her healing energy. Because over the years, I've been extremely critical of Nicki Minaj. You can Google all the things I've said. I stand by all of them today, even more than before. But I can't keep investing time in criticizing what we all know. Obviously, you're not only cozying up. Maybe you're MAGA. You denounced your fans. You denounced the gay fans. Now you're going to go hang out with the administration who is making probably most of your fans suffer as a result of SNAP and EBT and all the other things, because it's not like your fans are all millionaire and billionaires. Well, Nicki then retweeted a post calling her the first female rapper with a UN invite, then shared a new MAGA slogan. Look, she said, "Come on, Barbz, let's make America gag again," with a chess piece. Meanwhile, the White House TikTok shared a video collage of Trump and Melania and put a mix, including Nicki's Bees in the Trap, over it. Look. And she responded saying, "The President and First Lady of the United States of America, Barbz, I don't know which one of you uploaded this to the White House TikTok, but just so you know, Unlimited Backstage Gag City for life. I don't know what timeline we're on right now. I'm just going with the flow." Do you want to say anything?
Yeah. This is all going to shift back, and people are not going to forget the people who stood on the wrong side of history. So people should be very careful, because it's going to shift back in the right direction, and we're already starting to see that. So
and your over support for the White House isn't shifting anything for Christians. I wish we could play Beyonce Cozy right here. Cozy, cozy, cozy. Anyway, I don't know where you're going with this. If you're trolling, I don't know, but words do have power and consequences. And, I think this is a slippery slope, but I'm not surprised. Kyle, keep hosting her, by the way. Shout out to Neighborhood Talk. Bye.